So this is the most important part, is the work that you are going to do at home. And it has to do about your preparation. So your presentation will suck, and that's a fact. Unless you practice really well. Now, what does this mean? And what do we mean by practicing? Rehearse alone 5 to 10 times. The entire presentation. Your presentation will be 12 to 15 minutes. If you do this 10 times, this will be 2.5 hours. If I have to give a conference presentations, they last to 45 minutes. I do this 6 to 7 times. Imagine how much time it takes me. So it will take time. Rehearse 1 to 2 times with a mock audience. If you do not have a mock audience, take your smartphone and record the presentation. This will help you a lot, and I will explain to you why in a moment. How to rehearse? First of all, keep strict time. Start your stopwatch and keep time. You say, I have 15 minutes. Let me see in the first time. If I say what I want to say, am I running short or am I going over? Okay, so keep strict timing. Do not allow do-overs. If you screw up, you screwed up. Keep going. Do not say, oh, yeah, nobody saw that. Let me go from the beginning. This doesn't help. If you make a mistake, you made a mistake. That's why this is called rehearsal. Because you have to make your mistakes in the rehearsal rather than in the official presentation. If you film, this will make you to not do do-overs, because when you do do-overs and you film yourself, when you watch the video afterwards, you look like stupid. Okay, so don't really do do-overs, and filming is a very good method to do it. Rehearse your opening, like the first 2-3 minutes, up to 20 times. Your opening should be like, hello, my name is that, and blah, 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 like automatically. This will help you a lot. And the reason that I will explain more elaborately in the next segment is that the opening is the most important part of the presentation and is the most important factor for your anxiety. For 90% of presenters, if your opening goes smoothly, afterwards they get rid of the entire anxiety. So if your opening is very well prepared and it goes well, after some point, you will be like, okay, this is not that hard. I can do it for another 13 minutes. All right, so it's the most important part. Rehearse it very well. If you have any complicated segments of your paper, rehearse them till perfection. What I do sometimes, I have to say complicated sentences, that they have to be exact, because if they are not, people will start asking questions. From teaching elementary microeconomics to presenting at the top university, I do the same thing. I take these complicated segments and I paste them on the slide so I can read them from there. Because if I don't, I might make mistakes. Your physical condition. Most people do not understand that, but giving a presentation is extremely energy consuming. When I give, every September and October, I give 2 back-to-back lectures for microeconomics. I start at 1:30, I start at 1:40, I finish at 4:30. Speaking on top of my lungs because I do not use a microphone, for 3.5 hours, this is equivalent to have run like half a marathon. This is extremely consuming. You are not going to need to do that for 3.5 hours. You will do it only for 15 minutes. but your energy will be on the peak. So make sure that you get a full night's sleep. And this sounds like, oh, this is what my mom would say. I understand that, but you cannot imagine how much it helps with two things. First, memory and speed of thinking. You are talking about something, and then someone stops you, and you're like, yeah, I've read this paper that this guy says that. How does this relate to your paper? And you have seen this paper, and then your memory has to work very fast and give an answer to this person very quickly. The biggest problem with this is that most of the people in your age, including me when I was in your age, we are not able to understand this well. We think that we are at our peak all the time, no matter how much sleep we have. But this is not true. Your memory and your speed of thinking is affected by how much rest you have taken the night before. Do not overdo it with stimulants. The problem that most people have with presentation is that when they start presenting, they're going like that. And if you have 2 cups of coffee over these, imagine how you're going to be. So have your normal amount of coffee or a little less. Okay, because I have seen people that they have like 3 Red Bulls before they come to class, and believe me, it doesn't give you wings. Eat a light meal 2 to 3 hours before. Don't give the presentation on a full stomach, because you don't want to be like, oh yes, I shouldn't have had like these 2 burgers like just before the presentation. And also, being able to be at the normal level of energy will require that you have the amount of carbohydrates that you need. If you have a light meal 2 to 3 hours before, it will do the job. It's nothing too demanding. Do not do it on an empty stomach. We had a couple of incidents with people that they passed out before the presentation or after the presentation. It will help you a lot. Hydrate and have some water with you or some other drink. Appearance. In my public speaking course, I go over very extensively about appearance because it plays a huge role. I'm going to tell you like only a few things here. First of all, most students go for business casual, which is pretty much the right thing. We do not have a dress code. You can wear whatever you want. And everybody will be totally okay with it. However, I don't know, I think that subconsciously, people are more well inclined to those who are more relevantly appearing in this kind of event. Okay, so you go to a hospital, if the doctor comes like with shorts and flip-flops, it's going to give you an impression. Maybe this person is a top doctor in the field, but unless you know that, your first impression will be bad. So business casual, I think it's the right way to go. If you want to come with jeans, there's no big problem with that. Just avoid loud fashion statements. Okay, that's not why you come to the presentation. Avoid also attention-grabbing accessories. Come there with the normal attire, like totally normal, and this will be enough.